Kia ora, Sarah. Kia ora, Sara. That feels like a test, saying both of your names one after the other.
Say
And
it fast.
it is. Kia ora, everyone joining and watching. Thanks for watching this live, wherever you're watching it. It could be on the Pledge Me LinkedIn, Pledge Me Facebook, Pledge Me YouTube. I didn't even really know we had a YouTube channel, but Charlotte tells me it's actually a really good place to go live to. So we're there as well.
Nice.
So welcome everyone that's watching this. For those of you that are new, we're going to be online for about 30 minutes. We're going to be diving into the world of Chooice and their current equity crowdfunding campaign with their founder, Sarah. You feel free to ask questions as we go, and we'll see them coming up and popping up, and we'll try to address them as they come through. But I also have prepared quite a few questions myself. I'm ready for this because I'm just quite excited to chat to Sarah. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Anna Gunther, and I'm the co-founder of Pledge Me, a platform that helps Kiwis crowdfund the things that they care about. Lots of Kiwis care about Chooice. So that's why I'm so excited to hear more about it from Sarah. So just pop any comments or questions in the comment section wherever you're watching this. And before we dive into the world of Chooice, I'd like to give Sara a chance to quickly introduce herself. She's our newest Pledge Me team member, and really excited to have her here co-hosting this conversation.
Kia ora, everyone. So very quickly, I am Sara Tafa, and I have been running Colcord, which is a kaupapa Māori business accelerator, for the past 4 years. I'm really passionate about helping, I guess, people who might not have access to traditional forms of funding. So it was a really natural next step for me to help people through the Pledge Me platform, to be able to, exactly what Anna just said, like fund the things they care about, and do that on the terms of, if the market says yes because they fund a thing, then it has, we have the opportunity to breathe life into the things that we care about personally. And that's, a really exciting prospect, and exactly what Sarah's doing through Chooice. But also what's really cool about Chooice is that it's a double whammy, because like you're using Pledge Me to breathe life into Chooice itself, but you're also helping through Chooice to breathe life into all of the businesses that get to put their products and services online through your platform. So I think it's a really exciting option. Cool. So that's me. Kia ora.
Love it. We have 2 woohoos so far, one from Charlotte and one from Maxwell Simmons Russell, who says woohoo go Sara. So there's some love in the chat already. Please, people, ask questions as well. But first, let's go over to Sarah. Sarah, I really love if you could quickly introduce yourself to the people that are watching.
Cool. So my quick introduction is Kia ora. I'm Sarah. I am the founder of Chooice. I'm currently based here in Ashburton, but originally had founded or created this beast in my bedroom in Manurewa up in Auckland. But yeah, here we are today, 3 years later, and we've got this awesome Kiwi business, and we're looking to raise some capital to scale the work we do. That's me.
Hi. And can you tell us a little bit more about the business that you started? So Chooice. What is Chooice? What do you do?
What is Chooice? So we are we like to say a lockdown-born marketplace, as we popped up during the first COVID-19 lockdown back in March 2020, long time ago now. And we originally started as a Facebook group called New Zealand Made Products, and then eventually, well, I say eventually, but a couple of months later, we transformed into an e-commerce marketplace website as well. So we've got this beautiful Facebook group where our small businesses and a whole lot of shoppers, 500,000 to be exact, live. And we also have a beautiful website where these small businesses can set up an online store and list their products and get themselves out there. So we've got these pretty cool 2 awesome platforms, and they're both beasts in themselves. And yeah, that's where we are today.
Amazing. And I'd love to actually hear a little bit more about that founding story, because I think I'm not the only one who doesn't know much about, like, how did it start? Like, what was that moment where you're like, actually, let's make this a thing?
Yeah. Well, I had my own small business prior to Chooice. I had another business. I was in event management, and I was just on the verge of what was to be a really good year for me. So prior to lockdown hitting, I had secured about a year's worth of contracts, and the year ahead for me was projected to be awesome. And then pretty much overnight, within a few hours, my livelihood changed. All of those contracts just disappeared, essentially, when Jacinda Ardern announced that we'd be going into lockdown. So I got phone call after phone call saying, we'll have to postpone this indefinitely, we'll have to cancel this. And so essentially, I lost all of those contracts in a short period of time. And I ended up sitting in my sadness for a wee bit, thinking, how can I get my business back out there so that I can get some contracts during this time, even though we're in lockdown? Surely there's some things I can do in the online space. So long story short, I ended up setting up a Facebook group as an avenue to promote my own business. But funnily enough, that Facebook group took off so quickly that I had to end up parking that business and start Chooice and turn it into its own thing. So to this day, I still haven't promoted that business in that Facebook group. But yeah, we've got this beautiful business called Chooice now. So that's a little bit of that foundation story. Is such a long time ago now.
It is, but it also isn't, right? Like it feels like in some ways it was just yesterday. And what happened the last 3 years? Where is it gone? Sada, I'm conscious you might have some questions as well, so feel free to pop in whenever you'd like.
Absolutely. The first business that you promoted through your platform, can you remember?
It was Cookie Time.
Yes, love Cookie Time.
And I actually had promoted them myself, so they didn't come through the group first off. I actually saw one of their posts and thought I'll post about them. And that was kind of, weirdly enough, the catalyst that got the ball rolling with a lot of other businesses popping up into the Facebook group. But yeah, it was Cookie Time.
There you go.
Do you have a favorite post or a favorite moment, like a company that early on you posted about and it really just made that difference for them?
One of the most memorable vendors that I've had is Vicky from Vicky's Funky Cushions in Nelson. She is a beautiful human and one of the first what we would dub viral posts in the Facebook group. And that's just one that has always stuck with me because after that, she got a lot of press, a lot of airtime. I think we crashed her website as well. Yeah, we crashed her website and it just made a huge difference for her livelihood and her business during COVID-19. And we're still friends to this day. So yeah.
If anyone watching has any questions that they'd like to ask Sarah, do feel free to pop into the comments section and just add those in, and we'll ask them as we see them. But what has the impact been to date? Do you measure the impact of Chooice on small businesses?
A little bit, yep. So we can see how many people are sellers, and we can also see how many of those that have signed up are actively selling and making money. We've proudly been able to onboard over 3,000 vendors onto Chooice. Sorry, when I say vendors, I mean small businesses. And I mean, that term small businesses can mean a range of things, but we define them in the context of Chooice as artisans, craftspeople, mums and dads who are using their passions and things they're really good at to make things or to design things that they then on sale. Since we launched in 2020 with our website, we've been able to help those small businesses on our platform make over $6 million, which is awesome. And there's even, we're missing stats around how much small businesses have made outside of our website, because we only obviously record the revenue and sales coming through our website, but we've actually got a large number of people that are still advertising in Chooice but are not directing sales through our website. So, that's probably way past 6 million. So millions of dollars essentially have gone to small businesses across the country. We've also seen the impact in terms of a number of them have launched in supermarkets, which is awesome. We've got an awesome curry paste brand owned by a mum and daughter who have been in Countdown supermarkets as of recently. So shout out to them. And we've also had a number of people. I always pronounce it terribly, but Sobnas? Sobhnas. I can spell it for you guys. I'm sorry. I'm just terrible pronouncing it. So we've got that mum and daughter duo, and then we've also had a number of small businesses being able to stock in retail stores across the country for the first time, which is awesome. Yeah, lots of impact. My mind is like
you like everything.
Yeah.
Sada, what are you thinking? What questions do you have? I'm going to put it to you, but and also at the same time put it out to the group to ask questions in the comments as well.
Yeah, I guess I'd love to understand like what makes Chooice really special, and why did it like come into being? Because there's other platforms out there. So what about Chooice is kind of like, it's only here at Chooice that you can get this. This is what's special about it. I'd really like to understand that.
So we pride ourselves on being a marketplace where you can find products that are either designed or made in Aotearoa in New Zealand. And with that, we've been able to get the most beautiful products coming through Chooice, whether that's on our Facebook group or our website. And what's driven a lot of the engagement or viralness of that Facebook group is because of that sense of discovery. You don't expect to find the things you do when you go into the Chooice Facebook group. They're beautiful, they're practical, they're peculiar, as the spin-off had dubbed some of the stuff. So it's really unique, and it's really unique to New Zealand. So that in itself creates this real engagement, a bit of pride as well. And obviously people are wanting to shop with local creators, local small businesses. So yeah.
And why are you equity crowdfunding? Why have you decided this is the way you want to go?
So there's two reasons for that. So other than needing to raise some capital, and what I mean by that is we need to raise some funds to be able to primarily rebuild that e-commerce marketplace website. But the second component of that is we started as this Facebook group community, or what I have called in the past as a digital village. And we want to enable this digital village, this digital community, to continue to have an ownership in the business that they've helped build since the start. They've helped us grow and go viral from March 2020 up into the platform we are today as a website marketplace. And we want to continue to have them actively involved in the growth of our business. And so what better way to do that than to make them shareholders? So we went down the crowdfunding route to create that opportunity. But what I really love about crowdfunding as well is it creates an opportunity for people who usually wouldn't participate in the ownership of companies to take part. It really makes that opportunity accessible. So our investment starts from $50, and that enables everyday Kiwis to be able to own some shares, own a piece of Chooice, and then therefore have an active participation in growing the business in the future. But just going back to my first point on why we need some putia, why we need some funds in the bank, is because we need to activate a growth plan that we have. And a big part of that is redeveloping our website. So at the moment, the website that you go and see, chooice.co.nz, has been the same e-commerce marketplace that we've had since we launched in 2020. It's still on its MVP. And it's one thing to have an MVP, and it's another thing to live on it entirely. And so we're starting to feel those growing pains. And, you know, we've got 3,000 vendors on there, thousands of products. We've had over 200,000 products sold come through that platform. You know, again, $6 million made. And so we're really starting to feel the strain of this minimal viable product, this MVP. And so now it's time to really activate and step into our growth plan, which is redeveloping that so that we can scale it, be able to unlock new revenue streams, but also be able to provide new functionality that our vendors, that our small businesses who use Chooice have really been asking for. So, yeah.
Sada, what are you thinking?
I'm just I guess I'm thinking about what are some of the things people want most out of the new and improved website that you're building?
So with our current website, we're pretty limited on, and I don't want to go into too much tech talking because then it becomes too over your head, too over my head some days. But at the moment, some of the big things are like simple things like we want to be able to upload videos to our product listing so that people aren't just getting still images, but they can view products as videos as well. Simple stuff like that. Better customization, better search functionality. We want to be able to optimize a lot of the stuff in the user dashboard, so the vendor dashboard. So that's on the back end. So making that more user friendly, better functionality around that. We've also got a number of, if you look in the information memorandum, we've also got a number of revenue streams that we would also like to activate that will help the business generate some more money, but we can't do that with the current MVP or minimal viable product that we currently have. It's just not allowing us to. There's only so much overcoding you can do with third-party plugins to the point where you're pushing the limits, and you will essentially break the website at some point. So yeah,
I've got a couple of questions. Yeah, and the Colcord presence in our chat today is pretty strong. So kia ora to all my Colcord. But a question from Koro, who said, "Is part of your growth plan to go international?"
That's a good question. So we have acknowledged in our information memorandum that an opportunity exists in Australia. We share a lot of similarities. If I remember off the top of my head, around 50,000 of that 500,000 members in the Facebook group are based in Australia, and a number of them are actively buying products in Chooice, which our vendors are proudly shipping over to them. So there is an opportunity there, and we've heard the calls. I get an email every now and then saying, "Can I sell my products in Chooice? I'm based in Australia," and just for reasons that we are unable to allow Kiwis even who live in Australia to be able to use Chooice, unfortunately. But there is an opportunity, and we do acknowledge that, and we would love to explore that in the future. And so, yes, going international is part of our strategy in the future. But at this present moment, the biggest opportunity for us as part of our growth strategy is activating our current existing community and converting those into active shoppers, into active sellers on the platform. So yeah, hope that answers your question, Koro.
What's so cool about your community? There's something really exciting about the size of your community, right?
Yeah. So we've got those two platforms, right? But the Facebook group itself, and I might have briefly touched it, but we went viral a number of times during that first year in 2020 during lockdown, and that led to a substantial growth of a group of 500,000, 562,000 members, I think, off the top of my head when I last checked. That's 562,000 Facebook group members in this Facebook group of Chooice. So
and that's one of the largest in New Zealand.
Yes, it's the biggest in New Zealand. So it's pretty substantial. So there's a huge opportunity there to tap into that group and to convert a lot of those existing members into shoppers, into vendors. We know from our analytics and our metrics that we're only touching a small portion of that. And so there is a huge opportunity to convert the rest of the group.
It's exciting, right? There's so many people that support local Kiwi business. And how do you grow that? How do you support that? Not even grow it, like how do you just support what you already have? There's a question here from Charlotte, and it's a really good question. It's, how do I become a shareholder, and is it complicated to sign up and pledge? there are instructions that we have on our guide, which I'll pop into the chat. But basically, what you do is you go to the campaign page, you click the button to pledge, and it'll ask you to log in. And if you haven't logged in before, you create a login. And then it does also request for some information about your identity and where you live. And this is because under the anti-money laundering and counter-financing of terrorism legislation, we are required to identify you. It's painless, I swear, but it's just something that we have to do before you invest and then become a shareholder in the business. And it's an all or nothing campaign. So Sarah and Chooice have to meet their goal by their deadline for the money to be processed and for you to become a shareholder. But it is relatively painless to pledge, but there is a bit of information that you have to provide. But I'll put the instructions into the chat. So what does your crowd get when they pledge, Sarah?
Great question. So we've got a number of rewards that we've set up for people who pledge. They do start at a certain threshold. So even though our minimum investment is $50 New Zealand dollars, our perks or our rewards don't start until that $150 mark. So if you are, let me just refer to, because it's a bit of a mouthful, handful. Starting from that $150 mark, if you are a shopper on Chooice, you can enjoy 5% off all orders for an entire month. If you are a vendor or a small business who uses Chooice, we have a service. And if you're a vendor, you know what this means. But if you have a Chooice store, you'll get 1 month of pre-approval, which is essentially just unlimited posting in the Chooice Facebook group. Starting from our second tier, if you pledge $450 and that's New Zealand dollars or more, you'll get 5% off for 2 months. And if you have a Chooice store, you'll get 3 months of unlimited posting in the Chooice Facebook group. If you don't have a Chooice store, sorry, but you still enjoy using our services, because we do have them open for all small businesses, regardless of if you have a store on our website or not, you can still get that free unlimited posting in the Facebook group, but it will be at 1 month if you pledge $450. And then the last tier is from $1,350 onwards. You'll get 3 months of 5% off for any purchases. If you have a Chooice store, you'll get 6 months of unlimited posting in the Chooice Facebook group. And if you don't have a Chooice store, but you'll still like to post about your business, you can enjoy advertising in the Chooice Facebook group, but you'll get 3 months instead. And lastly, I've just noticed as well, if you do that last tier again, which is $1,350, you can get first dibs on an in-house Chooice product. And so that's just in reference to, again, if you refer to the information memorandum in our growth strategy, or as part of one of the revenues that we would like to explore in the future, is our own in-house brand or range. We did do this in the past, but we just found it was way too much for such an early stage in our business. We would love to revisit that in the future. And so if you pledge more than, or if you pledge from or more than $1,350, you can get first dibs on what that future product, in-house product may be, which is exciting, because I've already got ideas and I'm not going to talk about them just yet because I don't want to share about them. Yeah, so.
Sada, one of your people, I think, has asked a question.
Okay, let me have a nosy. Hang on.
Another one of your cookery crew, I think.
How do your customers make and take payments? I know why he's asking, too, because it's relevant to his.
How do your vendors' customers make and take payments? So we use Stripe as our payment gateway on our marketplace. I'm assuming that's what you're referring to. And as part of the onboarding process for signing up to be a seller on our website, you will be prompted to set up a Stripe Connect account, which is like a smaller version of a Stripe account. And we act as the host. So when you sell anything through our platform, you'll get sent your earnings, but we'll also charge our commission on that.
That's cool.
So if people have questions, do feel free, pop them in the chat. We'd love to ask them. But Sada, what question do you have? What's top of mind?
I'm really like looking at how do we create more hype for your campaign? Like what do you want those on the call today to do? Like, obviously we want you to like it, we want you to share it on social media, we want you to pledge and put your money down and become part of the Chooice family. But is there anything else that you'd really like from the audience in terms of participation in your campaign?
Pretty much everything you've just raised. So if you see any of our social posts, feel free to drop a word of encouragement. Our team do see and read those comments. If you think there's anyone in your network or your friends or your whānau that you think would jump on this opportunity to invest, feel free to send our campaign and our investment offer their way. Share far and wide, open our newsletters, anything possible. And even if you have an idea as well, feel free to flick me a message if you would like to offer us any opportunities to further the reach of our campaign. I'd love to have that discussion with you as well. Whether that's putting that in your own newsletter or putting a post up on LinkedIn or on your own socials. Absolutely, would love that. So, yeah.
Cool. If there's people out there who have maybe got a product or a product idea and they're thinking more about actually using your platform, or joining your platform as a seller, is that simple enough to do as well? Just visit the Chooice site and get along?
Yep. Head to the Chooice website and scroll down to our website footer, and you can click on the Sell on Chooice button, and that will take you to the onboarding steps. So it's relatively easy, but we want to make it even easier with the redevelopment of our website. So that's one of the goals.
Very cool. Well, how does it work for a service?
We don't. So you can, in the Facebook group, you can advertise your services, but with our website, we're product-based only. Okay, so that includes digital products or physical products. So if you sell ebooks or digital prints, yep, absolutely, that works for the Chooice website, even if your products are customized. So, for example, you make little t-shirts for kids that need their names or something on the front or the back. We enable that functionality as well, so you can collect that information at checkout.
We've got 2 more questions from the crowd watching. Hi, crowd, we love you. This one is Crow asking, what does shareholder engagement look like post a successful campaign? What are you planning to do with your crowd once they come on board?
So we'll do a big welcome, but we'll also have regular contact with our shareholder database. At this moment, we're looking at I think it was a biannual shareholder report, as well as any additional stuff that would love to keep on top of mind for you guys. We'll definitely make contact. As I keep referring to, we want our shareholders, our vendors, our shoppers to be actively participating in growing Chooice, and so we will definitely ensure that communication is just the best it could be.
Awesome.
That's sorry. I saw the other question that Charlotte's put on, but I also have that question. It sounds like a little bit of work, like if I'm not a shareholder of anything else already, like if I don't really know what that entails, do I need to attend shareholder meetings? Do I need to vote on things? Like how active do I need to be? Or is it more that I'm just funding it and not necessarily being that active?
Gotcha. Yeah. So we're offering 2 types of shareholdings, which determines your level of involvement. So the first one is non-voting shares. So if you pledge below $50,000, you'll get non-voting shares. Your level of involvement is pretty passive, so you'll get engagement in the form of a biannual shareholder report updating, how the business is doing, including your investment, what's that led to the creation of. If you are pledging more than $50,000, you'll be offered voting shares. in the Chooice company itself. So those non-voting shares will live in a nominee company called Chooice Nominee Limited, I think. Trying to remember the name. So if you're non-voting, your shares will live in that nominee company. If you are pledging voting shares, $50,000 or more, your shares will live in the Chooice company on the cap table itself. And your involvement will include being able to vote on important matters. So.
There are still some matters that non-voting shareholders vote on, but it's really big things like the wrap-up of the company or a change to what the company does. But yeah, typically non-voting shareholders are a bit more passive, but still an important part. And still, if there are distributions made or dividends paid, they have access to that.
Yeah.
I have a question. What's been the best moment so far in your campaign? Like, has there been a moment where you're like, oh, this is great, or something's happened that has supported you?
I remember when we first launched, sitting here in my pajamas, watching it go live, and then watching it just go up, 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 up. And then we hit, I think it was about 3 or 4 days later, we hit over 100 people pledging, which was like the best moment for me, because that's a lot of people. 100 plus people pledging in your campaign. Whether that amount was big or small, like, made a huge difference. So that was an awesome moment for me, was seeing the number of people that had pledged. And I mean, today we're sitting on 142, which is awesome. We're on track to 200, so I'd love to hit the 200 mark in the next few days. Yeah, I guess what makes that awesome for me is I want to be, and I mentioned this earlier, like I set that minimum investment amount at $50 because I wanted to make this investment opportunity as accessible to as many people as possible. And so to see 142 people have pledged wanting to take up this opportunity is like real good for me. And again, let's try hit that 200 next few days.
I love it. And has there been a scariest moment, or is there something like that feels
scary
hard?
was launching. Exciting was launching, scary was launching.
It's the roller coaster high.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Sada, what are you thinking?
I'm just wondering about just all of those people at home who are sitting on the fence. Like I think a lot of us are kind of like, like we've seen a post, maybe 2 or 3, we haven't quite gotten around to actually putting our money down yet. And just kind of encouraging anyone out there who's kind of like me, because I'm on the list at the moment, Sarah, of people who have seen lots of posts. So, like have obviously seen the campaign and haven't quite gotten around to pulling out our credit card and putting our details through. And then it's like, definitely something that we can kind of encourage people to do. So I think, and you're saying that there's a painless enough process to lodge your credentials or your driver's license or whatever, so that you know who I am. What kind of timeline would you say in order to, like, if I want to make a $50 pledge, or if I want to make a $100 pledge, or hopefully I want to make a $50,000 pledge, what do I need to do? And how long should I put aside? Like, if I have 15 minutes, is that long enough to get it done?
Plenty of time.
It's plenty of time. I actually was just realizing I haven't invested yet, and I'm doing that right now. And I started 3 seconds ago, and I'm almost done. But I had already put my information in. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, plenty of time. So, what you
10
do need
minutes.
On hand,
we're talking about a 10-minute job here to become a proud shareholder in the Chooice company.
Or even less than that, and even quicker if you're on your PC. I mean, if you're on your mobile, probably a little bit more, having to move the finger a bit more to make your way down that web page. But what you'd need on hand is, if you're based in New Zealand and you're pledging, you do need a form of ID on hand, because you will need to put that information into the registration form. If you are based overseas, you can still pledge as well, but your steps are more than one. You need a form of ID, you need proof of address, and you also need to acknowledge that you are allowed to invest in your country. Is that right, Anna?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. Yeah.
That's cool.
And
So it's
that's
still not
only
a
a few
huge
more
amount of
minutes.
stuff. It's like tick the box, upload the thing. I've got a question. Once someone's uploaded their ID once, Anna, like if your information's already in the Pledge Me system, does that hold, or do I need to upload that each time I pledge to a different company?
Once you've been verified, you're verified in the system. Yeah, so it's only one.
Choice.
So I just pledged and it took less than a minute.
Beautiful. Less than a minute. This is too easy.
Too
Fantastic.
easy.
That's very, very cool. I'm seeing, I think there is a comment. Let me quickly, just one of the other ones saying it was very cool. That your answer to a previous question. Okay. Awesome. So exciting. So how long have you got to go on your campaign?
We have 17 days left. So just under 3 weeks. Yep, just under 3 weeks. So we've got another 2.5 weeks of lots of push that we're going to be doing. So lots more posts, lots more newsletters. Hopefully, fingers crossed, some billboards around the country to do that final push. Please, folks, don't leave it to the last minute. We'd love to get your pledges in as soon as possible. The sooner you get it done, the sooner it's ticked off your list as well. So yeah.
And where can people go if they have any questions for you, Sarah?
Great question. So if you head to the campaign page, which is on the Pledge Me website, there is a tab called questions. You can drop a question there and we will be notified and we will get back to you as soon as possible.
Awesome. So if no one else has any questions, you still have 10 seconds to pop them in the chat if you'd like us to ask or answer them now. But do check out the Chooice campaign page. As Sarah has already said, there's almost 150 people that have already pledged to invest through the campaign page. She's almost 20% there. And you can learn more by reading the information memorandum in the campaign page to just, see what Sarah's been up to, what Chooice has been up to, but also what their plans for the future are. If you have any questions for Pledge Me, for us, about the campaign or how to pledge or anything like that, feel free to send us an email, contact@pledgeme.co.nz, or get in touch with us through anywhere, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, I think, as well. And there's also a contact form on our website. And share the campaign if you can. Share a bit about Chooice, share what's happening. And thank you. So thank you to everyone for watching this. Thank you for Sarah and Sara for joining us in this corridor. And I might hand it over to Sarah for any final comment, request, words.
I have said this so many times, and you've probably seen all of my posts as well, hopefully, but I will say it again. We have done so much good work to date with just our prototype website, and we would love to help thousands more small Kiwi businesses across the country to be able to succeed online. And to do that, we need your help. We need the capital to be able to redevelop our website. So would love to welcome you into the Chooice whānau as a shareholder and be able to activate our growth plan so that we can help more people around the country to be successful online. So haere mai, come to our Pledge Me campaign page on the Pledge Me website. 17 days left. Investment starts from $50. And again, any questions, please just drop them under that questions tab, and hope to see your pledge soon.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you so much.
See ya.
Join
Bye,
the
everyone.
movement, everybody. Get amongst it.
Do it.
Do
it.
Bye.
Awesome.